Are you thinking about making a move to Newport News, Virginia, and you expect your price range to be between $200,000 and $300,000? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. My name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. And we're going to head out in a sec and we're going to take a look at 3 different properties, one in the low twos, the mid twos, and the high twos. And we're going to see the differences in those different parts of town, and we're going to check out the neighborhoods as well. So stick around and we're going to get right to it. Alright, well, before we get started, do me a favor and click that like and subscribe button. And then today we're going to focus mostly on, or entirely, on single-family homes. So we're in a neighborhood, we're in a street called Sedgefield, and this is kind of down in, it's kind of centrally located in Newport News, kind of heading a little bit towards downtown. And really, most of this neighborhood is going to be filled with a lot of like 1950s Cape Cods and other small homes. So when we talk about what you can get in Newport News for under for around 200, 215, we're mostly going to be looking at some older homes. There's not going to be anything new, but even for our area, older would be like the 50s. So that's mostly what we're going to get here. And I would say our typical home might be more like a 3-bed, 1-bath, probably between 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. The house we're going to walk by that sold pretty recently, that one's actually a little bit bigger. It's a 4-2 because it's Cape, so they must have done the upstairs and added 2 bedrooms there. So it's really good sort of neighborhood to be in if you're looking at first-time home buyer type home, or you're looking to downsize. I do think that when you're looking at this area, or in this price range, it's really going to be neighborhood dependent. The highly desirable neighborhoods, the same houses are going to go for more like 250, 275, but when you're here, you can kind of get into the low 2s and still get a decent home. So the only homes we're really going to be concerned about are the ones that you can actually like move into right away, maybe with a little bit of work, but nothing crazy. We're not looking at anything that needs full renovation or anything like that for the sake of these videos. So the home we're talking about is right here. This is a 4-2, 1,300 plus square feet, and in good shape. And as you can see, the homeowners are already in there doing some work to it and getting it looking great. But I think that they got a really good value, to be honest. I think they got it for $206. Pretty darn good deal. But most of the homes that you're going to see in this price range, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,000, 1,200 square feet, maybe even a little smaller. There aren't single-family homes below that in Newport News anymore. You can even go to kind of the east end of Newport News, and most of the stuff there is going to be around the same price for the smaller homes. So, really, this price you're going to see in a few neighborhoods. Then you're going to see it just kind of like spot homes, kind of sporadically throughout most of Newport News. So, I do think that you can get a home in this price range. It's definitely doable, but we're seeing less and less of it. So, if prices continue to go up, we'll probably have to start these videos at 225 or so. Alrighty, well, this is going to bring us down to the Menchville part of town. So this is kind of around like the roads Eastwood and Colony. And so now we're going to look at some homes that are generally going to go for the mid 2s, So in this part of town, what we're really looking at are a whole lot of brick ranchers built in the 60s. You know, if you find a brick rancher built between 1963 and 1969, it's probably right here, and you probably paid around the mid twos for it. So really what we're going to look at now is homes in this price range. You're generally going to be around 1,400 1,500 square feet, but you're really now looking at 1.5 bath homes. So I'm starting to see that the homes that have 2 full baths are really pushing higher than that into the 260s, 270s. So you're still in the mid twos when you get into the 2 baths. So what I want to show you is right here. This guy sold for $250, was listed for $235. So you can kind of see where our market's at in terms of what's going on with offers and things like that. So pretty typical right there. But that's a little bit bigger home, about 1,600 square feet, but it is the 3-bed, 1.5 bath. And I just kind of think that that's pretty typical for this area. It's a little bit more desirable than the last location we were in terms of just its overall popularity. You're going to have really good parks near here, like Riverview Farm Park. You're about 15 minutes to Fort Eustis, so you get a little closer to base, and it's going to be pretty popular. And then just really easy to drive to Trader Joe's, Home Depot, Lowe's, all right down the street from here. So really good, kind of desirable area, and a great place for people who are looking for a moderately priced starter home. These homes not too long ago were going to get you closer to like 200, but with where values have been going, so you're starting to look really at the mid twos for most of the homes here, as long as they have the 1.5 bath. As soon as you're in this neighborhood and you start to get to that 2 bath, I'm starting to see things more like 270, a little bit like that. So this area is also pretty cool because it has the colony pool, so there's a public pool right up the street from here. Just happens to be really close to this particular location where we're at. And then and then we're only just a couple blocks here off the rivers too, so you can get access to Deep Creek Marina, where you can put in a small boat and stuff too. So overall, really good, kind of popular area, and should be a good example of what you get for mid twos. Alrighty, and we are up in part of Newport News is called Denby, and specifically we're in Beechwood. So Denby is the kind of greater region as you're heading towards Fort Eustis. And for the high twos, you're going to start getting into these 2-story homes. So that's kind of the big difference, is that now you're looking at more like 1,750 to 2,000 square feet, and you're going to have a chance to get into a 2-story home, maybe even a 2-car garage. In this part of town, you're still looking at homes that were still built in the 60s and 70s, so we're still not into the newer homes yet. But, I really think that what you can get for the high twos is pretty good. Like, this is the home that we're talking about today, and this one sold for $295, and, it's like 1,850 square feet, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, good condition. You can also still look at some of the ranchers in town, in some of these neighborhoods that are only like 1,500 or 1,600 square feet, but have been like completely updated. So you're going to get like fully updated for just under 300. But you can also get into some of these types of homes that are in good shape. They're going to be a little dated some places. That's no big deal, but they're all move-in ready and in pretty decent shape. And people like this area because we're only like 5 to 7 minutes to Fort Eustis. So it's just a ton of military here, and I think people like it. It's fairly quiet. It's a little off the beaten path. Not many people come down here who don't live here. So overall, that's kind of what you're going to get for the high twos here in Newport News. Right, well, I hope that gives you a good understanding of what you can get in Newport News for between 200 and 300,000. What we've done is I've had a link in the description for each of the 3 properties that we went to see today, so you can go check those out, as well as a link for a custom search setup in Newport News for between 200 and 300,000. And you can see what's currently active. Of course, we're filming this in April of 2022, so prices are subject to change. Now, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like and subscribe button, that would be great. You can get more awesome content as we bring it to you from Newport News and all of the surrounding area. And of course, my team and I are here and ready to help you for when you make your move to Newport News or anywhere in Hampton Roads, Williamsburg, and the surrounding area. Our contact information is in the description below, and we can't wait to hear from you.